All this has happened before, and it will all happen again. But this time it happened in London.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney movies that were almost completely different.
In my day, we had fantastical feasts when I lived in the palace.
For this list, we'll be looking at Disney and Pixar movies that had original concepts differ from the final product we all know and love. Did we miss your favorite Disney movie that never was? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Pocahontas. This Disney classic is a combination of a romanticized version of the true story of Pocahontas, mixed with a bit of Romeo and Juliet elements.
Daughter, stand back.
I won't! I love him, Father.
Originally, Pocahontas was meant to have a mother spirit in the stars, but execs thought that was too close to The Lion King, which was also in production at the time. So this was changed to her mother spirit living in the wind.
I hear the wind.
Yes. What is it telling you?
Grandmother Willow also used to be a character named Old Man River, voiced by Gregory Peck. It was actually Peck who felt that the character needed to be more motherly and refused the role. Thus, Grandmother Willow was born.
Hello, John Smith.
Pocahontas, that tree is talking to me.
Then you should talk back.
Don't be frightened, young man. My bark is worse than my bite.
Pocahontas' animal friends Meeko and Flit were also meant to have voices. And another friend, a turkey named Redfeather. Number 9. Monsters University. Before this Monsters, Inc. prequel showed us the history of Mike and Sully's partnership, it was originally meant to be a sequel. The idea was to have Mike and Sully get trapped in the human world after sneaking in to give Boo a birthday present.
You want to go to the village? Okay, rule number 1 out here, always, no, never go out in a blizzard.
We need to get to Boo.
However, a series of changes in the deal between Disney and Pixar led to new management, which ultimately resulted in Monsters University. But wouldn't you love to see how that hypothetical sequel would have turned out? After the ending to the original movie, it would be amazing to see a new adventure with Boo.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me, so help me, and cut. We're still working on it, it's a work in progress, but hey, we need ushers.
Here's hoping that one day we might get to see something along the lines of Monsters, Inc. 2, Lost in Scaradise.
Boo?
Kitty.
Number 8. The Rescuers. This Disney classic went through several changes before the final product was created. The original script was based on the books by Marjorie Sharp titled The Rescuers and Miss Bianca.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, please may I have this assignment?
You? Miss Bianca? Dear lady, it's absolutely without precedent.
But Walt Disney found that keeping the plot of the movie too faithful to the source material would make it too political for a kids' movie. Over the years, The Rescuers was revisited and rewritten many times, with new characters and different dynamics between Bernard and Bianca.
Yeah, you might say that Penny brought us together.
You are a darling.
Cruella de Vil was even the main villain at one point. After over a decade, the final incarnation was finally reached.
Oh, I just love takeoffs.
Number 7. Inside Out. This film is often praised for its accurate depiction of adolescence and emotions. Well, that might be because the directors did a deep dive into the psychology of it all.
Something is definitely going on.
She's never acted like this before. What should we do? We're gonna find out what's happening.
In the movie, Riley is guided by 5 major emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. But originally, over 20 emotions were considered as characters.
Can I just, if you could, I just want to fix that, thanks. And that was just the beginning. Headquarters only got more crowded from there.
Directors Pete Docter and Ronnie Del Carmen combined and conflated the list of emotions to create the main 5. This is understandable considering how cluttered the movie would be if Riley had 20 different emotions running around in her mind.
Good job, gentlemen. That could have been a disaster.
Number 6. Mulan. Some early Disney princesses have become infamous for their over-reliance on male counterparts, but Mulan is without a doubt the hero of her own story.
Impersonated a soldier. deceived your commanding officer, dishonored the Chinese army, destroyed my palace, and you have saved us all.
Things weren't always like that, though. The original plot was based on a couple of stories by author Robert D. Sanssouci. The idea was more of a romantic comedy wherein Mulan and Li Shang are arranged to be married, but Mulan runs away to find her own path. However, the head of story, Chris Sanders, recreated the story around familial love, which is actually more faithful to the source material.
The greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter.
Also, had the original plot thrived, we may never have met Mushu or Cricky.
All right, that's it. Dishonor. Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Number 5. Aladdin. Can you even imagine this movie without Aladdin's sneaky sidekick Abu? Well, believe it or not, he wasn't a part of the original script. Neither was Jasmine's tiger Raja.
I've never done a thing on my own. I've never had any real friends. Except you, Raja.
Originally, Aladdin had 3 human friends, and his mother. Eventually, those characters were scrapped and replaced with human versions of Abu and Raja. Unfortunately, the studio chief did not like the script at all, and the whole thing had to be rewritten.
I blame parents, except he hasn't got 'em. Gotta eat to live, gotta still to eat, tell you all about it when I got the time.
The mother was removed, Abu and Raja became animal sidekicks, and Iago was inspired by Gilbert Gottfried, who went on to play the character.
Excellent work, Iago.
Go on.
No, really, on a scale of 1 to 10, you are an 11.
Oh, Jafar, you're too kind. I'm embarrassed. I'm blushing.
Number 4. Moana. Inspired by mythology around the Polynesian demigod, John Musker and Ron Clements decided to write a story about him.
You're so amazing.
He was originally meant to be the main character, but Musker and Clements' research trips changed everything. They learned about the history and traditions of Fiji, Samoa, and Tahiti, inspiring the final version of the movie. The focus became on Moana and her journey of self-discovery. They used the real history of Pacific Islanders' exploration thousands of years ago to help craft the narrative. But that's not all. At one point or another, Moana had several brothers. She had to save her father from being lost at sea, and in one version, there was no grandmother character. We almost had a vastly different movie.
My people are going to need a master wayfinder.
They already have one.
Number 3. Peter Pan. According to the man himself, Walt Disney, there was originally a plan to make Peter Pan much darker, but he changed his mind. A huge plot point in the movie is Peter trying to convince Wendy to stay in Neverland to be a mother to the Lost Boys.
Come on. Now, just a minute. Let me see now. I have to pack. Oh, and I must leave a note when I'll be back. Of course, I couldn't stay too long. And then I'll have to... Oh, but Neverland.
Well, in an earlier idea, Peter never gives Wendy the choice. He captures her from her home to be their mother. Not exactly a jaunty adventure past the second star to the right.
I'm certainly proud of you. You blockheads. I bring your mother to tell you stories.
Mother?
And you shoot her down.
In another idea, Nana the dog is the protagonist. We see the story unfold from her point of view. Though we love the way this classic film turned out, we have to admit it would be incredibly interesting to see Nana's thoughts on the events.
Nana, the nursemaid, being a dog, kept her opinions to herself and viewed the whole affair with a certain tolerance.
Number 2. Frozen. This instant Disney classic is all about friendship and sisterly love. In fact, the love Anna and Elsa share for each other is not only a central theme in the movie, but one of the greatest parts of it.
An act of true love will thaw a frozen heart.
Well, the initial idea for this movie was actually the exact opposite. Anna and Elsa were rivals in a version of the movie that was more faithful to the story The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen.
There can be no doubt now. Queen Elsa is a monster, and we are all in grave danger.
In this version, Elsa was an evil queen, and she and Anna weren't even sisters. It was actually the song Let It Go that changed things. This powerful song by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez was clearly meant for a hero.
Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Beauty and the Beast. The opening scene makes the movie, which wasn't originally going to be a musical.
Little town full of little people waking up to say
Bonjour! Bonjour!
bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour!
The Little Mermaid. Ursula was almost Triton's sister.
Banished and exiled and practically starving, while he and his flimsy fish folks celebrate.
Wall-E. The future of the human race was different.
Attention, Axiom shoppers. Try blue. It's the new red.
Ooh. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Toy Story. Has there ever been a happy, friendly story about a sentient ventriloquist dummy? Well, the creators of Toy Story didn't think so either.
We gotta go.
You can't leave yet. You have what I need.
The original incarnation of Woody was a dummy who teamed up with a wind-up toy named Tinny, and they journeyed together to find a kindergarten classroom so they can always be played with.
They'll see. They'll see. I'm still Andy's favorite toy.
But this was eventually changed because the dummy seemed way too creepy, and Tinny didn't feel modern enough. Through a series of changes, Tinny eventually became Buzz Lightyear, and Woody became a cowboy. What resulted was a classic opposites to best friends film.
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
To infinity and beyond!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.